Hey guys, my name is Scoby and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to set up and install Desmume on your PC in 2026. This is a Nintendo DS emulator that will let you play DS games directly on your computer. I'm going to be showing you step by step how to do it. Let's jump right into this. So the first thing I need to do is come to the desmume.org website. As always, links in the description down below. Once we're here, we're going to be clicking on the downloads page right here. We're then going to be going directly to the GitHub page. And we're going to be downloading the latest Windows version, which is the one that says Win64 right here. We're going to be downloading the zip file, and that's the first thing we're going to need. While we have our web browser open, we're also going to be heading over to the 7-zip website. The link will also be in the description down below, and we're going to be downloading 7-zip. We will need this a bit later to extract games and also extract our application file, so we're simply going to be downloading the latest version of this as well. Once you have everything downloaded, you should move it to a location where you can find it easily. I have everything right here. And the first thing I'm going to be doing is installing 7-zip. You need to find your 7-zip application file, double click it, click yes on the Windows pop-up that shows up, select an install location. I'm just going to be leaving it on my C drive, click install, and then 7-zip will be installed. Before we go and set up Desmume, we're first going to be talking about ROMs and game files. And I will mention up front that I will not be showing you where to download game files in today's video. Although if you are looking for this, it's really easy. A quick Google search will help you out. Once you have some game files, they will most likely be downloaded in a .7-zip or a .rar format. We cannot play these directly inside Desmume. Instead, we will first need to extract them, and that's where 7-zip comes into play. You will know that they're in a compressed file if it has this little folder with a zip icon here. What we're going to be doing is selecting the file that you want to extract, right-click, show more options, hover over 7-zip, and then simply click extract files. Here you can select a location, click OK, and then your files will extract. It is also possible to do this for multiple files at once. If you highlight them, right click, again show more options, 7-zip. I'm going to be extracting here this time, and then my files will extract. Once this is done, you should be extracting new files or potentially folders depending on how it's compressed. And inside this, we're going to be looking for .nds files, and that's exactly what we're looking for. These NDS files we will be able to play in Desmume. Once we have our games ready, we're going to extract our Desmume and install it. We're going to be looking for the zip file. We're going to right click, extract all, click extract. We're then going to be going inside here and we're going to be looking for the .exe file or the application file right here. Again, we're going to double click this. And now Desmume should open up right away inside this small window. Now there are a few settings I would recommend changing inside this. However, we're first going to be testing to load and make sure a game actually works. To this, we're going to be going to File, Open ROM. We're going to be locating to where our games are. I'm just going to be clicking any random game here. Click open and just make sure that our game opens up. We can scale our window up here a bit. And here we can see that my game works directly. We're going to be closing down our game by clicking File, Close ROM, and now our ROM will be closed down. And now we're going to be looking at a couple of configuration settings that can make running Desmume a bit better. We're going to be coming to Config, we're going to be coming to Display Method, and we're going to be setting it to OpenGL. This will allow us to use our dedicated GPU in our computer, which can allow for better performance. But to keep in mind, you should only use OpenGL if you have a dedicated graphics card in your computer. Otherwise, leaving it on direct draw is a fine option. Under Display Method as well, the second thing you might want to enable is VSync. This can avoid screen tearing on your computer. You'll know it's enabled when this little check mark is here, and it can be a good way to help with performance. The next thing we're going to be looking at is the control configuration. This will be under Config, Control Config, and it will open up this control configuration option. And from this point, you can actually set up a controller if you would like. I have tested with a couple of controllers, but your typical controllers on Windows, your Xbox One, Xbox Series, PS4, and PS5 controllers will work. We will just have to map the controllers here. To map a controller, what you need to do is click on a button. So for example, the up button, click on your controller on the up key, and then it will be set up like this. You simply need to go through each of your buttons here to set up how you want. Once you're happy with all of your controller mapping, you can click OK, and then your controller will be mapped and set up. We're again going to be coming to our config settings. We're going to be looking at our emulation settings. And we're going to be looking for the CPU emulation mode here, and we're going to be enabling use dynamic recompiler. This can enable better performance. In some cases, it may degrade performance, so it might be something that you want to enable on and off. But for the most case, it's a good option to leave on as default. So we want to make sure that's checked. Click OK. Next, we're going to be coming to the 3D settings right here, and our 3D rendering engine will be Soft Rasterizer by default. Again, if you have a graphics card in your computer, changing this to OpenGL will give you better performance, so I'd recommend setting it to that. And here we can then click OK. If you do have OpenGL enabled, one of the options we can also do here is multi-sampling anti-aliasing, which can help games look a little bit better. So here you can set this up to 8x, which I would recommend doing if you have OpenGL and a graphics card. Again, a couple of these things you can feel free to decrease if you are noticing some frame rate issues or some issues in your games, so feel free to experiment here a bit. While we're in the 3D settings, we can also look at texture scaling, which we can make our games look a bit better. Here you can again experiment depending on your performance. Setting it to 4x will already make our games look a lot better, so I'd recommend again, if you have a decent system, to set this to 4x. Click OK. Another thing you might want to enable is Framskip if you plan to do any speed up in games. This is especially useful in games like Pokemon or turn-based games, where we can set our Frameskip up to 9. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that all these other options here are enabled to limit frame rate, auto minimize, and this will give a smoother experience when playing games. And we additionally can set up some hotkey options that can also be nice. So underneath control config, we have hotkey config, and here we can set up a couple things. The main thing I'm going to be looking at is the fast forward option, which will allow you to speed up games. By default, it will be set to tab, just based on other emulators I've used before. So for fast forwarding, I can set it up with the space key. It is also possible to map this to a controller. So if you wanted to map it to your controller that you set up earlier, you can set that here as well, which is nice. We're then going to be clicking OK again. With all these options set, we're going to be opening up any game. And here we're going to be looking at a couple more view settings that we can set up. Now we're going to be coming to view, we're going to be coming to window size, and here we can set it up to a higher resolution, and this will scale automatically. Or you can just simply drag your window and it will hold the aspect ratio when rescaling your screen. We can click on view again, and here if we come to LCD layouts, we can select if we want a vertical or a horizontal layout, where your screens will be next to each other. We can also set up a one LCD view if you want a single screen. I'm not sure why you would want this, but it is an option. Or we can even flip our screens around if you want your top first or your bottom first. Here you can flip them around. Now, if you set up your controller earlier, you can use your controller directly or with your bottom screen. I will flip these back first. You can use your mouse as a touchscreen that you would on Nintendo DS, so you can simply click anywhere you want and it will work as it would on a real Nintendo DS. Now underneath our viewing options, we also have a couple more things we can set up on the HUD. We can set up an FPS display or different inputs. We can show the FPS or display a couple of other things if you would like to display that here as well. Now entering full screen with this emulator is a little bit annoying. The best way is to click Alt and Enter on your keyboard, which will open it up in full screen. Here you can choose to hide the menu if you want in your full screen options, or you can force Windows full screen when you're actually playing, but Alt and Enter is the best way I have found to open full screen and not open full screen. I would recommend keeping the menu on screen. It is nice, especially in a DS emulator. You will never actually have a true full screen when you want your two screens like this anyway, so I think it is a good option. Anyway guys, it's as easy as that to set up Desmume on your PC in 2026. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, check out the other videos on the channel. Until next time guys, as always, keep it saucy,